Well, welcome to the Alaskan channel. Today's project is this 26 Shamrock that we're going to use as our primary guest boat for our guest self-guided cabin package. So it's got this nice 6 BT Cummins that needs some love. We're going to clean it up, and we need to put some new engine mounts on the back, get all the grime and rust off of here, do some little bit of touch-up, go through the heat exchanger, clean the bilges, reroute some wiring, and so on. So, like all projects, it's probably a little bit more than I wanted to do. But so for those new to boating, this is just doing a quick check on this heat exchanger. There's a zinc plug here. The zinc is, you can't really see it, but there is a zinc in there. And looking through the tubes, they don't show any serious plugging or whatever. The one thing Cummins did was they made these heat exchangers easily serviceable, which is nice. So one bolt holds it on there, and one hole on the other end, and there's a little, all you do is take that off. Oh, there's supposed to be a washer. Okay, day 2 of our Shamrock engine mount replacement. A little bit of 20-year maintenance here. When the boat was surveyed, the surveyor claimed we needed to paint the turbocharger here and replace these engine mounts that you can see down here. They're pretty corroded, so anyway, so I have my rant here. The rant is these guys installed, these guys, I'm assuming that's previous owners or maybe Shamrock, installed the sea strainer, that is this thing right here, on a horizontal. I mean, you can't access to take the cover off, to take out this basket, to take out any kind of, so we're going to remount that proper orientation. They buried this saltwater washdown pump. I'm assuming that's what that is. They buried that back in there where you can't get at it if you need to fix it or replace it. It's a pain in the ass. So we're going to mount that in a location that's accessible. The biggest rant I have repeatedly with boats, and it is always a compromise, is mounting things where you can't access them and maintain them. This whole cover here that I've moved off to the side here had all the trim tabs, the kill switch, the fuel selector valves, all up there, right? Well, to get this off of the engine, you had to disconnect them all so that you can move this cowling away so that you can access your heat exchanger. Let's say you had a bad starter or some other function. You could barely even reach the dipstick for the transmission here, or the reduction gear. Well, it's actually a transmission, but and I just think to myself, why would you design a hatch cover or an engine cover cowling so that you could do the main check, you could check the main engine oil and even change the front belt, but even getting to the fuel oil or oil filters is a pain in the butt. Why would they have not designed this to hinge out of the way or easily be movable so that you could access the whole engine? The easier access to your engine, the more likely the maintenance is going to get done, and the more likely that you'll be servicing your engine. So this looks like a rusted ball of crap because it is. It hasn't been in a place where it's easy to clean. So I've already washed the engine. I've gotten 25 years of oil and grease and grime off of it, and we put some Osflow, which is a chemical that kind of chemically binds the rust or the oxidization up. And then we're gonna put some zinc primer on, and then we'll paint the engine, just touch up paint, not like real paint. And then we're gonna replace these motor mounts. We're gonna reposition this C strainer, freshwater hose, run some controls to the front of the engine, or front up in the helm, so you can turn on these pumps from up there, not back here on this thing. Maybe even reroute the whole fuel selector system back out off of this cowling, so the cowling is easier to remove. But anyway, that's the ongoing process. Let me put that on there. Oh, Jesus. Need a bigger pipe wrench. So anyway, here we are, welcome back to the Shamrock engine mount project. Yesterday, batteries died, so you didn't get the actual moment of having to get the engine mounts out. We got both rear engine mounts that mount to this Borg Warner. It's not a reduction gear, it's just a gear. We had to make this sling here, just this block and these 4x4s. There's lights in the way here. And what this does is allow us to hold up the back of the engine here, so that we got both engine mounts, that one that goes here, and then there's another one that goes here, and they bolt to this Borg Warner gear. Anyway, we got a chain hoist on there, strap around that holds it up, and now we got the old engine blocks out, or the old engine mounts. You can see there, they're pretty dang corroded and rusty. They sit down there, and that's basically a saltwater bath, and horrible. But what's gone wrong is, I think, or what's wore out, is that rubber. Sorry, my lighting here is pretty crude. This rubber blows out, then they're not stabilized, and then the engine can move around on them. So we're gonna put the new mounts. Here's one here, and it's similar style, and you can thread these designed so that you can position that by turning this. You can thread this pin up and down and position the engine in the right alignment with the shaft. So that's what we're doing today. And we'll throw another, we got some, I like to use this galvanizing primer, because galvanizing tends to deter the corrosion. It's just kind of a stopgap measure on the engine and all the different rusty places. And then we'll throw some pretty Cummins cream paint on this thing and give it a little love. So here we go. So now I threw a little primer on there. We'll actually maybe even paint it, get it cream color. But now we have to line up this. Maybe we'll just temporarily mount it on there. So what I'm trying to do, you got to do, is get this engine mount in there, and they got Allen wrenches on there. It's crazy. It looks like it might even be in the right. I see now why they have Allen wrenches, because they got to go in that hole there. This is a little bit of never sees. I'm going to put it right here on the face. Okay, this is the excitement. I have no idea where we are in relationship to the... Okay. Oh, probably should let that paint dry on this thing. So, I think we're gonna let the paint dry on this. We're temporarily attached. We have So, where did we start this morning? I got down here, positioning these engine mounts, and then got a text from my wife that Bridger had been exposed to COVID, so I had to go to school and pick him up. And then we went to the dump. Then we picked up a set of Allen wrenches because I did not have the right St. Allens. Stopped at the boat, checked the Stellar's J. Then we went home. I moved a boat at home from that dock to the state dock, or city dock in Knudsen Cove. Then walked back home. Took Bridger and got a call from Craig here at the marina that they could take the Stellar's J here. All that. Went back to the Edgewater, got the Stellar's J, brought it here. Leslie took me back at the car, and then blah blah blah, shuffling around. Finally got back down here. Was tightening up these. Now it's 3 in the afternoon, and I dropped this Allen wrench behind and underneath the engine where there is no way to get to it. So I had to run home and get the specialized tool, this magnet, so I could reach underneath the engine and get it. But now this Allen wrench, as you can, as I'll show you, is too long to fit in there. So what I need to do is actually cut it off. It barely fits in the lower one, and I can get about 1/4 of a turn. These are the complexities of doing these kind of jobs, and it turns out that the old lags that go into the stringers here are actually going to work. It's crazy. I actually think this engine is sitting on the hull. I think they barely shoehorned this thing in here. Oh, she's tight there. Okay, well, that would work. Okay. Now, before I'm gonna do a dry fit here. Make sure we're gonna have the right height. That get dinged. It's not gonna work because I gotta have thread. Oh man. Huh. And this can thread on here like that, yeah. So this is gonna go here, then the coolant hose will attach onto there. Yeah, it's gonna work. Okay. So we gotta flush the system with fresh water, like a fresh water hose. Be narrating, but so then this is good. So this concludes just the engine mount installation. We got that done, and we did replace the put the new C strainer in, and we're gonna move on to some wiring now, and rewire some of these pumps and wash down hoses and so forth. Wiring's somewhat of a mess, so that's too boring to do on a video. Here we go. Thanks for watching.